This is Souq Business Landscape.
The Senate has mandated the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, and other relevant bodies to commence full enforcement of the ban on high-strength alcoholic beverages and sachets starting December 2025. This directive puts an end to ongoing speculation about possible extension of the phased-out timeline as lawmakers resolve that no further grace period will be granted to the manufacturers. The decision follows the adoption of a motion sponsored by Senator Souq calling for strict implementation of the phase-out. The ban is part of efforts to curb alcohol abuse, particularly among minors and vulnerable groups, due to the affordability and accessibility of sachet-packed liquor. Regulatory agencies are expected to collaborate to ensure the full withdrawal of such products from the market in line with public health goals and existing policy frameworks. This has been long coming. These alcohol companies, in order to make it more affordable, you have them in sachets for 100 naira, 200 naira. You have them at the local stores, the malams and the small kiosks around the neighborhood. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, patronize it for the affordability and just, you know, take it. But now they're coming out to say that this December, because, yes, whether we like it or not, Dirty December is a time of celebration. So a whole lot of drinking, eating is going to be going on. And this phase has been on for a while. Now the lawmakers are saying, let's put an end to it by December. What's your thoughts on this, especially the manufacturers? Do you see some form of retaliation or fight back or anything?
The manufacturers, first of all, I don't want to even mention the names of the brands, but the manufacturers, you know, used to, you know, focus on the huge big bottles.
Yes.
And how much they are sold, you know, from 5,000 naira, 7,000, 10,000 naira. And for those who could not afford those ones, after the manufacturers and the brands have looked at the market very well, and they looked at the people that, you know, feast on these brands and these alcohol brands, they looked at them very, very well. They felt, okay, we can make this very, very affordable. And it's not a new thing. Because if you look at, some time ago, we used to have only tin milks in circulation.
Yes.
Some time ago, we used to have the toothpaste that we used to have just the bigger ones.
Yes,
only. And those ones, some households could not even afford it because of the price. But they want something that is very, very easily accessible and convenient, that anyone, including students who are going to campuses, can just afford. You are traveling briefly, you just need to get a soap and get your toothbrush, and you got your toothpaste, and it's in your bag, and you know that you remain fresh wherever you go. So the brands of alcoholic brands also copied it. Let's make it very, very accessible and convenient. So they resorted to that, and the market ballooned. It blew. Brands that had not taken that initiative before looked at their contemporaries, looked at their competitors, they've gone that direction, they also went that direction. And now the whole place is proliferated by this. And of course, we know the resultant effect. Alcohol abuse, minors, you know, have joined the frame of things. And of course, the processes, because of the rapid turnover that some of these brands are not even certified by NAFDAC. And because of the rapid turnover that they have, they just, you know, go ahead, use unhealthy means to produce them, to manufacture them. And it's beginning to have a toll. And if there's a research that came up some time ago that young men, it wasn't like that before in Nigeria, that young men in their 20s and in their 30s, they are suffering from kidney disease, they are suffering from lung disease, and when they trace the issue, some of them were traced to some of these alcoholic brands that are not, you know, well manufactured. And it got to the Senate, so they are telling them to go phase it out. It had been on before, but it's not, doesn't look like it's abating. if you're leaving your home, your house as early as 6 a.m., 5:30, 5 a.m., you get to the bus stop, you're driving, you're seeing these women, you see those who sell these things, and they are also a go-to use by most commercial vehicle drivers.
All right, let's come to Muktar Amin. What are the health risks, social impact, and of course, economic impact of this ban, especially to manufacturers?
Left to me, the only thing reasonable about this ban is climate change. So if we are banning this sachet because we are trying to save the earth because of waste management and climate change, it makes a lot of sense. But if we are trying to solve underage drinking, alcohol abuse, this is not the way to go. I think government, again, is running away from enforcement. The problem we have in this country is we have laws, but the government does not have the political will to enforce the laws. 80% of our accidents is due to alcoholism. And up till now, does road safety have breathalyzers to test drivers on the road to see if they are drunk when they are driving, rather than just smelling their mouths? And if you drink, you take some metal, you take cola nuts, nobody is gonna know if you are drunk or not. So if we keep losing lives to drunk drivers and we don't have mechanism to test if our drivers are drunk and there's no enforcement, I've never in this country seen where a policeman or a road safety officer is trying to see if a driver is drunk or not. It is in the advanced world now. Drinking in public is now an offense. I don't know if that is part of our law. We don't have that. So even if, let me put it out straight to the government, I hope they are listening. If you sell alcohol, 100,000 naira, the people that are alcoholic, they will find a way to buy it. Maybe they will commit crime, they will find a way to buy it. So curing alcoholism or controlling alcohol abuse is not by phasing out the cheaper ones. It's by enforcing decent use of alcohol. It's by prosecuting businesses that are still selling to minors, by prosecuting adults that are drinking in public. I don't mean bars, I mean by the roadside. That is by the roadside where minors will see you and want to copy what you are doing. We have to protect them. And then by prosecuting drunk driving, that is what the government needs to do to protect the society and protect our lives. Because I put it to you, if branded alcohols stop being affordable, guess what? The government will not ban the Yalagbo at car parks and at every junction. People will start buying the local one, and there go the spike in kidney problem. Because I don't see any government in this country banning the local apps, the Agbo, in every bus stop and every car park in this country. So if you ban this sachet, that is, I'm putting it to you now, that is what people will start drinking. They will take the raw ethanol. We produce ethanol locally in this country. It's from cassava. Nigerians make it. So if you stop companies that you are supposed to regulate by making sure their product is safe, and you give them number, and you think the way to go is to phase out the sachet, the problem is not going to solve. It is just, we need to enforce our laws. It is only in this country that NAFDAC is confiscating products that run into billion every year. And you know why that is happening? Because you are not enforcing the perpetrators. So the only thing they lose is the products that you seize. So people continue to produce. These products are killing people. Prosecute these people like killers, like terrorists, and then it's going to stop. Why waste money going into markets, risking people's life to go after products when you can go after the manufacturers? By the time you get 1, 2, 3 scapegoats, this thing is going to stop. The government needs to learn and have the will, the political will to enforce our laws, to try people to the full extent of the law, the people that, take lives of Nigerians for granted and just feed us anything that takes our life or damage our health.
All right, thank you very much, Muktar Aminu. So, away from enforcement and prosecution, what public education should accompany the enforcement to make it more effective?
I feel like we have been doing enlightenment and education. Maybe we need to do more. On every alcohol advert, you see, don't drink if you're younger than 18, if you're a minor, if you're pregnant, don't take alcohol. They even enforce the alcohol manufacturers to do this form of education. And the National Orientation Agency, they have some form of investment in education. But education without enforcement is not enough. It's not enough. If we go to every major road in this country, we see young people during school hour on the streets. Our laws does not permit that, but nobody is enforcing it, and it becomes a norm. When foreigners come to these countries, they see us as barbarians. When they see 8, 10 years old on a Monday morning that's not public holiday on the streets trading. We have laws in this country. So beyond alcohol, our government needs to enforce these laws. I don't even know if average policeman know some of these basic laws that needs to be enforced. We just need to enforce. Banning this sachet, like I said, if this is in compliance with climate change, I totally understand. But I don't think this is how to curb alcoholism in the society. Okay. I don't see it.
Thank you very much, Muktar.
Yeah, so one other thing that NAFDAC needs to do, because I in the World Federation, 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, will begin to look if NAFDAC has the personnel and the capacity to be able to cover it. And if NAFDAC does not have that, the relevant agencies at the subnational level we equally need to, there need to be institutional synergy between NAFDAC and these institutions at the subnational level to tackle this, on what Mr. Amin is talking about. Because when you talk to these people, the local government has been saddled with that responsibility to even regulate where these things should be sold. Yes. And not only for the purpose of regulation, but for effective local taxation laws. Because the local government are going to impose taxes to the bars and the stores that are going to be selling this alcohol. And the other thing is, you do not just start selling alcohol. You need to go to the local government to get a license to sell this.
To sell it, okay?
So if these people that are selling are not going to the local government or the relevant authorities to have the permit to be able to sell, and they just jump into the business, that's actually the root cause of where it's starting from. So you have proliferation all across, and the government, with the limited manpower it has to regulate a burgeoning society, will not be able to curb the spread of it. And even agencies or organizations that are manufacturing these things using, not going through the healthy process and procedures for manufacturing this. You need to go to NAFDAC to get that. And even if you have a product that you've manufactured and they are new, they are locally brewed, using all the local herbs in these things, and some of them can be very, very good, but you need to go through NAFDAC that is going to carry out a laboratory test on it before telling you to go ahead or not to go ahead. And most of the times, they don't do that. They just go ahead and start selling. So regulation, the thing about regulation has become almost, it's as if it is defeated at the grassroots level. Now, the other thing that you asked Muktar about awareness, about education. You mentioned, yes, the National Orientation Agency.
Yes.
It looks as if it's almost going into extinction. That organization.
You know, sorry to cut you short. If you look at a lot of adverts and drinks, it's always written there, drink responsibly.
Oh, really? And do you think they are just going to look at that and just look at the cigarette parks?
Yes.
What it is written there.
There.
And some of the
Boldly.
cigarette parks, there are very scary images that you have there. What does it suggest? That look, you continue smoking this, it might resort to this.
Yes.
So be careful. Does it deter people from smoking it? No. So they have carried out what they need to do. So when I was in secondary school, we were taking, I think maybe it was a government agency, they came visiting. We went to a school, about 5-6 schools converged, and including the senior prefects of those schools, secondary schools, and a government agency came and they put out all the drugs, including cigarettes, so many drugs, cannabis out there, and they were telling us the effect of this if you continue to engage in this, and they were giving the awareness. Sometimes civil organizations, civil society organizations equally come and carry out this awareness program.
Yes.
The local government, the civil society organizations, and also the government at the state level, maybe the Ministry of Communication or the Ministry of Public Information, at the subnational level, need to also liaise with local government, liaise with NAFDAC, also liaise with the National Orientation Agency to make sure that this awareness is created at the grassroots level of society, because we don't do that more often. And that is where it has brought us to this level. Like you said, some of them are very, very good herbs to be taken. But you know what?
Coming to that herbs, how do we regulate it? Now, we're talking about the ones that are packaged. What about the ones that are not packaged? The ones that are the roadsides and the garages, and they mix concoctions in different volumes with ethanol, raw ethanol, and people just consume, and you go to the woman and you tell her your back is paining you or this or that, and she mixes something that you have no idea.
I tell you, the officials in NAFDAC have no idea of what that woman is mixing. But if you look at these local women, some of them are quite knowledgeable on what those herbs can do and which one can be mixed with this, that, and the other to cure the back pain, to cure the headache, to cure the malaria, to cure the fever, and all of that. And that is good. But when you mix ethanol and alcohol, you have gone into a different terrain. Now, even if they have the knowledge of this, is NAFDAC aware? Because NAFDAC is the regulatory authority.
Yes.
So NAFDAC equally needs to regulate, yes, that woman down there.
Yes.
So if NAFDAC is not going to regulate, and we have the Board of Herbal Medicine in Nigeria, they are going to carry out regulatory activities in collaboration with NAFDAC. So have we seen that level of collaboration? Because there are economic benefits, there are health benefits as well. And you know, these two benefits, you know, says a lot about the health of a nation.